Episode 1. The Lost World. The ship did not arrive. It returned to real space like a weapon remembering its purpose. It was called the Southern Cross, a Terran Directorate warship, old, scarred, reliable. Lieutenant Eamon Kells stood at the forward window. Below him, a world turned beneath pale clouds, blue oceans, green land, a living planet. Slip Navigator. Sable Rourke spoke behind him. No registry beacon. No directorate ledger. No accession record. Kells did not turn. Population. Human. Baseline. Technology level is medieval. Feudal governance. Fortified settlements. A lost colony. A forgotten world. Then Rourke's voice tightened. Multiple burn signatures on the night side. Drop events. Non-human. Kells said, "Name it." Rourke exhaled. "Croth." The door hissed open. Commodore Angus Vale entered. Vale did not waste breath. "We make planetfall. We stabilize. We remove the Croth foothold. We force an accession treaty." Rourke looked at her instruments. "Something big is moving at the system edge." Vale's head snapped. "Measurement. Not clean yet. But the fold medium feels percussive, like something beating on the skin of physics." She hesitated, then said the word like it tasted wrong. "Like laughter." Vale stared at the planet. "Drop in 3 hours. Kells, make it work." Kells nodded once. "Understood." Cool under pressure was not personality. It was procedure. Galomir burned before the directorate arrived. The palisade was on fire. Homes were on fire. People ran in every direction. The Croth moved through the smoke. They were salvage predators, armored in resin and scrap, faces hidden behind scavenged maskwork. They fired into crowds to force panic. They set buildings alight to break morale. Then the sky tore. Drop pods hit the earth like hammer blows. Mud leapt. The ground shook. The huntsman stepped out. Hard gray armor, a spider and Southern Star badge, not because they spun webs, because huntsman's spiders do not wait, they hunt. Sergeant Callum Hart checked his rifle. He said, "Reckon we're in the local songbook already." Kells replied, "Try not to rhyme." Kells raised his hand. "Engage!" Huntsman rounds hit and detonated inside the Croth. Resin armor shattered. Bodies fell in pieces. Villagers froze. Because reality had changed in front of them. A mounted man rode out of the burning gate, sword raised, helm dented, blood on his brow. "I am Lord Cedric Wayne, protector of Galomir." "Name yourselves." Kells turned his helmet toward him. "Huntsman Detachment. Terran Directorate Expeditionary Corps." "We are human," Cedric stared. "No man wears—" "No man you have met," Kells said. "Stand aside or stand with us." Cedric swallowed. "At what cost?" Kells gave him the truth without decoration. "Unity and accession." Cedric lowered his sword. "Help us." Kells nodded once. He turned back to the smoke. Bluey murmured, "Right then, let's go hunting." The huntsmen did not chase blindly. They shaped the fight. Kells called it Pounce Doctrine. First, locate. Second, herd. Third, corner. Fourth, pounce. Fifth, sweep. They placed sensor pickets on roof lines. They sealed exits with denial charges. They forced the Croth into kill corners. By dawn, Galomir was cleared. But Kells found a salvage rig on a wagon. It vibrated with low percussion. The sound made teeth ache. Bluey tapped it with his rifle. "Not just a gun." "It's a beacon rig," Kells said. "Calling more." The Croth were not raiding. They were establishing. Kells stared at the horizon. "Stone Hollow," he said, "where the lords meet." Lord Cedric frowned. "They will never unite," Kells replied. "They will. When they understand extinction is not negotiable." That night, the beacon rig pulsed once. Not loud, not yet. But far beyond the clouds, something answered. A distant rhythm in the fold medium, like laughter traveling through metal. and Kells realized the Croth had already called home. Episode 2. Blood Oath. Stone Hollow Keep was built for human wars. It was not built for a directorate mandate. The Great Hall was full of banners and arguments. King Rowan Harrow sat at the dais. His crown looked heavy. Queen Maris Thane stood beside him. She looked like sea wind made into a person. Duke Edrin Loxley smiled, like he enjoyed watching men fail. High Synod Calder watched from shadow. Moral authority wrapped around him like heat. Kells showed them the scans. Croth burn patterns, expanding node clusters, signs of foundry construction. He did not beg. "You unite under an accession treaty," he said, "or you die separately." The hall erupted. Calder questioned morality. Loxley mocked necessity. Rowan hesitated. Maris stepped forward. "My coast is burning," she said. "I will not bury a kingdom for pride." An elderly duke cut his palm and bled onto the table. "My village is gone." "I pay the price." Maris bled next. Others followed. Rowan's hand shook, but he bled too. Kells placed his gauntlet on the blood-slick oak. Accession mandate accepted. Integration began like winter, quietly, then everywhere. Directorate landers descended. Bastions unfolded. Comms towers rose beside bell towers. Road lines were cut straight through orchards. Old trees fell. New gravel bit into soil. The first census teams arrived. Ledgers, seals, quota notices. The Directorate called it stability. Kastriel called it taking. High Synod Calder did not call for rebellion. He called for dignity. "They count your children like grain," he preached. "They take your sons for distant wars." They call it stability. But stability that requires chains is not stability. Bells rang across the countryside. Anger became righteousness. In the valleys, another bell rang. Garin Holt, war hero, widower, the Ash King. "No levy," he declared. "No quotas. No directorate law. Kastriel for Kastriel." Kells watched all of it like a weather front forming. He could defeat the Croth, but not if Kastriel fractured first. Rowan spoke in half phrases. "Consider," Rowan said. "Delay. Negotiate." Maris spoke with steel. "There is no negotiation with extinction." Rowan faltered in public. And when a king falters, others move. Calder's sermons grew sharper. Loxley's smiles grew wider. Holt's bell grew louder. Then the sky changed. At midday, the clouds thinned, and a dark disk was visible above the sea. Not a cloud, not a shadow, a shape, a metal moon, and every person who looked up felt the same cold certainty. The sky was no longer safe. Episode 3. Ironmoon. The metal moon did not glide. It hung there like ownership. "Slip navigator." Rourke's voice came through the comms. "A mass is entering low orbit," she said. "Constructed. Improvised. Rotating weapons spines. Docking bays." Huxley's intelligence scrape pulled a name out of Croth chatter. War Architect Grimscrag Ironmoon. Then the Ironmoon spoke on open band. "Sky soldiers, look up. This is mine. Come try take it." The laughter that followed was not a joke. It was percussion through metal, a physical sound. Children cried. Adults went pale. Panic spread. Grimscrag did not drop onto bastions first. He dropped into arguments. Drop craft fell into the worst places. Granary towns, refugee camps, river crossings, rebel valleys, not random, strategic chaos. Vale ordered hard priorities. "Protect the bastions. Accept losses elsewhere." Kells argued for Severance, the Synod city. "If Severance falls," Kells said, "Calder becomes a martyr engine. You'll be suppressing insurgency for decades." Vale granted it. Severance burned when the huntsmen arrived. Kells used Pounce doctrine across city blocks. He set denial lanes. He sealed side streets. He forced mobs into kill corners. The Cathedral District held. But Croth emerged from under city tunnels. Routes outsiders should not know. Someone had opened the old throat. Kells climbed the cathedral steps and faced Calder. Smoke curled around them. Rockets shattered stone in the distance. "You want your people alive," Kells said. "You give me unity." Calder hated it, but behind him, civilians huddled. Children, elderly, injured. Calder agreed to broadcast cooperation. Evac routes, corridor control, no more roadblock fights. Kells did not thank him. He bought him. That night, a Croth herald entered the market quarter. It carried Grimscragg's symbol, a broken crown on a jagged wheel. It shouted surrender terms. Kells shot it through the skull. The mob surged. The huntsman turned an archway into a grinder. Bluey went quiet. Quiet meant lethal. Severance held, but the tunnels remained the problem. Huxley traced a message chain, a synod steward, a noble courier, a rebel intermediary, 3 human hands, 1 open throat, and somewhere above the Ironmoon adjusted its orbit. Lowering, preparing.